It is a couple minutes after 12, so we'll go ahead and get started. So welcome everybody. We're really excited to have Delia from the Women's Choice Award. In fact, the founder of the Women's Choice Award on as a guest this week on our webinar. And she's going to be talking all about how to promote doctor awards and credentials to attract new patients, and is also going to give you some specifics on the Best Doctors Award by Women's Choice. So Delia, I will let you take it away.
Well, thank you, and happy Friday, TGIF for sure. How to promote doctor awards and credentials to attract new patients. You know, when you're in the business of your business is built through referrals and recommendation marketing, because you're only as good as the experience of your last patient. It takes a lot of work to build a practice. And I don't care whether you're a doctor, a dentist, whether you own, a salon. It doesn't matter what your business is. What matters is how you treat your customers, how you market to your customers, what is the experience that they have, and did they enjoy the experience enough to recommend you? So today we're going to talk a little bit about all those things. I am a leader in marketing and selling to women. I am the author of Winning the Toughest Customer, the essential guide to selling to women. So my business has been more than just helping people get recognized who deserve to be recognized, so that we could help women make smart healthcare choices. I'm really very much about empowering people to deliver the very best experience and to succeed in their own business. So I look forward to sharing my experience with you today and helping you grow your business. So everything comes down to trust, right? When you think about it, why should I choose you, all the way through to why would I recommend you? And when you build trust, that equals revenue. Everything is about how you are perceived in the marketplace, how you deliver on that experience. And so it really starts with how do you get your name out? How do you build your reputation in the marketplace? Because while we would love to have a business that is 100% built on referrals, in this day and age, people do their homework. At one point, we didn't have an option, right? So if you are a more established physician, you remember the days where almost all your business came from another doctor or a hospital recommending your practice. And the only way we knew about you was through word of mouth, right? You know, a friend down the street had their baby from you or their practice. That was the coffee clutch was the way we used to market. Today, almost 80% of women say that no matter who they're recommended by, their primary, a friend, etc., they will do their research. So you need to be where she is going to look. And that's called omni-channel marketing. And we'll go over what all those steps are. But I want you to start thinking about your reputation, your perception is everywhere now. It's not limited to the experience they have and the people in which you are serving, your patients. Your reputation is on the line every single day. So we need to talk about how you are immediately portrayed as a trusted physician. Digital marketing is at the forefront. Many of you I know are OBGYNs and work with women of all ages, of course, but you look at, I don't care who you are. My mother, who is 85, still says to me, can you check this doctor online? Can you see what reviews they have? We are conditioned that we don't do anything. We do not make a purchase. We do not make a decision, right? Think about yourself. If you're going to a restaurant or you're going to stay at a hotel or you want to book a trip somewhere, what's the first thing you do? You go online and you check reviews. So you are yourself conditioned that you will not make a decision without checking out the experience of others. So awards are what's called social proof. And when you think about, when you think of yourself as a consumer, I always say, put yourself first and foremost as a consumer. And when you have to make a decision on a doctor that you have to see, a specialist for yourself or your family, what do you look for? You look for credentials. You look for a market positioning, how do they rank? You look at peer reviews. You ask around. You're fortunate because you have more insight, but for the consumer, they have to depend 100% on what we call social proof. And so an award that is trusted, and Google has named the Women's Choice Award a trusted award. And when, we have over 1 million women a year come to our site to look for hospitals. And now that we're launching Best Doctors, now they can come because we are the most trusted source. There is no other award that is as objective and thorough as the Women's Choice Award. You cannot buy your spot on our list. You have to earn it. And we foremost think of ourselves as a social impact company. And the impact we have is to assure that we're doing as much as we can to do the due diligence on you, to assure that she is going to have the experience that she deserves. So making sure that wherever you are digitally, your award is right there with you. In fact, 9 out of 10 women say that, and in one survey, it was 96% of women say that when they see the Women's Choice Award seal, that they are more inclined to trust you. So it's kind of common sense, picture this. Why choose us for your heart care with Dr. Jane Howard? Picture that ad without the award, and picture that ad with the award. And now you tell us which one is going to have a more emotional impact on your decision. So it's, comes down to a little bit of common sense, but it's really smart marketing. And if you could earn a place as one of our best doctors, why would you not want the world to know about it? Everyone deserves recognition when you work so hard to earn a place as a trusted physician. So social media is where we find our information. In fact, more, women turn to social media versus news outlets to get their information. So it's very important that you utilize the seal throughout every time you get a chance to, right? It is your third-party validation. It is your beacon of empowerment to say to women, not only do we get what's important to you, we deliver on the promise. Print is another way. It's not dead. People always wonder, oh, whatever. No, it's not dead. In fact, it's coming back. I just subscribed to a bunch of magazines recently because, frankly, I miss sitting down with my cup of coffee on a Sunday morning and reading through my journals and my magazines. So it is definitely on the rise. And what I think is very important, it is something that doesn't go away in seconds, right? So when you see a social media post or whatever, but print advertising lingers, right? So USA Today is a perfect example. And one of the reasons why we are a partner, we have been a partner of USA Today. USA Today has accepted the Women's Choice Award as a trusted award, so that when you see our ads in USA Today, and you'll see several a year, it's because they know that our award makes a difference when it comes to their readership. And so we have chosen to do events with them, meaning ads in their newspapers, their national edition, both print and digital, because it's called pass along, right? When you have a newspaper, and we tend to do Friday editions, but we don't always guarantee it, but we definitely try to do Fridays, so that, throughout the day and throughout the weekend, that newspaper is being circulated. And we know it makes a difference because we get wonderful feedback from women, as well as our physicians and our hospitals that we do a lot with, and our brands, that People see it, and we're delighted to hear that. So you want to raise the bar by having these. The other thing that's great about when you're in print versus when you're digital is that you could have it framed, right? So you want to take advantage of an opportunity to take that endorsement and make sure that it's in your waiting room. And I also, one of the things I love is that when I am in the room, the exam room, I love to read, right? I like to look at the walls. I like to see some things, and any validation you can give me while I'm sitting there, usually staring into space or on my phone for whatever, could be 5 minutes, it could be a half an hour. You want to give us something that just reminds us the reason why we're there. And so table 10 cards, ordering a number of these plaques, anything you can using your Word, put it on some, you could print it out from your printer, table 10 cards you could have done anywhere, and just remind them that, they're with one of the best doctors in the country. And getting to that, another thing that is one of the favorites that people love are these banners, right? So when you go into your office and some of them could be tabletop, and some of them are very narrow that fit in the corner of your office. And then you could do a large one if you have the space, where you want to have people reminded that you are in a doctor's office, whether it's a group or whether it's individual, that you are going to experience award-winning care. And that messaging is critical to get women to not only feel like, they deserve the best and they're going to get the best, but it validates their decision to recommend you. That's important because when you think about it, how often do you feel that confident recommending somebody? And when we talk to women about how often do you recommend a doctor, they say it depends on who it is, my experience with them, because I'm always fearful that they treat me nice, they like me, but that doesn't mean they're going to treat somebody else the same way. When you carry the Women's Choice Award, it is an affirmation and a confirmation that you are treating everyone with award-winning care, right? Because you need to have extraordinary recommendation ratings as well as, meet very high qualification measures. So it's no longer subjective. It's now a validation tool that they could be more confident recommending your practice and you personally. The other thing that is a wonderful way to leverage, and I always say, you can never leverage enough why they need to trust you, why they need to keep on coming back to you, and why they need to recommend you to a friend. It is the least expensive marketing of all, is called word of mouth. But how do you continue to instill that? And it's, there's some marketing research out there that people need to hear things 13 times or see things 13 times before it starts to really get in their head that whatever they're hearing is true. So that's why you hear people sometimes say the same thing, speeches, something, commercial, they'll say, call this number, you'll see them, because people need to hear things over and over again. You might even notice it when you're watching TV ads, where you'll see an ad come up and then it'll come right back up after another ad, because we're learning as marketers that the messaging has to be consistent. It has to be everywhere in order for you to really, make a difference. Because many times, I hear our customers who are healthcare providers say, oh, I won this award and it's not doing, I don't know what it's doing for me. Well, you're thinking reverse, right? What am I doing to maximize and leverage that credential? What am I doing? Now, If you're looking at credentials, industry credentials, I call those ABC soup for customers because it doesn't really mean very much to them. If you have an acronym from an association, whatever, that doesn't resonate with them. But consumer awards like the Women's Choice Award speaks volumes to your patient that I am meeting the highest standards set by women, and that I get what's important to her, to her. So it's one of those things where you have to have credentials that really, meet that criteria of emotional connection. And there is no greater award for women than the Women's Choice Award, especially in healthcare. So what do? Right? How else can I do it? So now we talked about how you need to digital marketing, how you need to do that through your all your social media, how you could include it in your print. But now let's take it to the next level, right? What are those other touch points you can do? So one of the things that we offer, and you could easily do, is with you. Today, video marketing not only is a great way, but it could also be done informally. Obviously, you have amazing teams and your agencies that can help you with that, but it also could take, one of your staff members videotaping you or your staff talking about how proud they are to have earned the Women's Choice Award, and share things like, did you know? And by the way, we're so excited to celebrate. You post those, right? You could do something more formal, like what you see there with me actually doing a congratulatory message for a doctor's office, and have that run on your screens. And most of the programs that you may purchase or license will incorporate some of your own user content if you ask them. You'll have some control to add those videos to your system. So absolutely make sure that videos are part of your strategy, because people actually, when they're in your waiting rooms, they watch it. And when they're in social media, they're much more likely to watch a video than even read a post. So, video messaging is really the way of the future. And if you're not doing that, get on the bandwagon, get involved, and do it. And it's easy. It's as easy as taking your cell phone and just videotaping yourself, offering a message. Don't be shy about it, because people are more casual today. They're more comfortable with just watching more casual videos, and you want to have something they feel more comfortable, almost like they can trust you because you're being real. It's not staged and phony. So it's something to really embrace. And for some of us, it's a little scary, but once you do it and you see the response people get, it's like, cool, this is great. I'm going to do more of that. Another thing that we definitely recommend, and this is so easy, it's your on-home messaging. If you ever needed an on-home message from me, you got it, not a problem. But anytime you could add that from your voice, your team's voice, and we are so proud, that Dr. So-and-so has earned the Women's Choice Award as one of the best doctors in America. So, that's the type of recognition that people go, woohoo, and they celebrate. So definitely make sure that, that on-home message is part of your strategy. The website. So what's very important is websites. So when we talk about, how you amplify it, it's really important to just remember that your website is your focal point. It is so important that that people will come to your website and want to understand how who you are through your voice. And people don't realize that websites are your calling card. So, and they're also more visual. We've done a lot of research on this, and we have found that women look for visualization. They look for the imagery more than text. You find it yourself, right? So when you go scan a website, you tend to look at the images first, and if they interest you, then you're more inclined to read. So you want to make sure that your Women's Choice Award Best Doctors is front and center, or a big banner across the top. It is, again, your trusted third-party validation. So use it on your website, include it on, if you do any press release, include it on the bottom in your boilerplate. Whenever you're doing interviews with the press, do not forget to mention that you have earned the Women's Choice Award as a best doctor. And also use it in content, because many of you like to write blogs. We're really impressed when we see doctors on their own website, leading with blogs. Make sure that you include that toward the end of the blog, like a little blurb about yourself. Use the best doctor information wherever you can. Direct mail is back. And I should say it's never left, right? But so many people went to digital instead of direct mail, thinking that's where she is, so I might as well go where she is, cheaper, etc. Well, we have found with women that direct mail is highly effective. You want to introduce yourself to women in your community. You want to share something that they could put on their, little cutout that they can put up on their refrigerator. It is so important because we need to know about you. Right now, in my opinion, you're probably a best kept secret. You're known a little bit among your community, your patients, but how many people would ramble if I were to go to 100 women in your community and say, who is the best doctor? How many people would say you without even a blink of an eye? So you need to go out there and make sure that you continue to do these campaigns. So think about marketing the word is omni-channel, right? You can't just do direct mail without doing online. You can't just do online without having in-office signage. It means wherever your patient is where you want that validation, is where you want where you want to have that consistent messaging. So absolutely, think about every single touch point. What is it? And I have some other ideas as well to share with you. So newsletters, press releases, community outreach. Get out there. I was so excited to hear about, more and more doctors holding open houses, celebrating their Women's Choice Award, actually having an event. And while we were talking, somebody from my office just brought me up, I don't know if you can see it, the beautiful award for a doctor that we're going to be visiting and giving an award to. This matters. People will show up and celebrate with you. Your patients love to have an opportunity to hear from you. We do a lot. We work with hundreds of hospitals, and so many times we go there and we bring women into those facilities and they bring their doctors out to speak. So if you're affiliated with a hospital, that's another way. Just tell your marketing team that you'd like to be there. And make sure you bring your signage with you, like your pop-up banner, so you can put it out there while you're speaking. And if you don't feel comfortable doing that, then at least talk about it and say, and I'm really honored not only to speak to you today, but to know that I have been selected as one of the best doctors by the Women's Choice Award. I take that to heart, knowing that I am delivering a trusted experience. Everybody needs to hear that, because again, you can speak, you could bring some good information to the table, but at the end of the day, they're still going to question if I can trust you. So trust is something that is earned, and it takes a lot of touch points to get there. you want to go out with a press release as soon as you earn the award, and we have a press release template for you, so no problem, you don't have to worry about writing them. But it does help to not only get it out there, but, you know, call local media. If you're lucky enough to have an agency, then you have an agency doing that work for you. Otherwise, you can go ahead and call some of the local press yourself, tell them who you are, and ask them to include your press release. And, you know, they love hearing from you. So it's important, get out there as often as you can. If there are any health events, look at things for you to do. Any women's events, try to get, you know, some exposure at those women's events. There are tons of women's events in your community, I guarantee it. Everything from clubs and organizations to women business owner events. Every week I get another email in my community of an event going on for women. Think about how you could be involved and make sure your signage and your award follows with you. It is so it is so important. I cannot speak enough to the importance of leveraging who you are in the community and making sure they know about it. So again, you know, once you have an award like the Women's Choice Award, you want to make sure that you're maximizing the exposure. We also have, please email us. We have, and I'll come back to this in a second. We have a couple people here that can help you. So if you'd like to get, you know, more information on how to maximize your award from the Women's Choice Award, we will let you know, from our end. And if you are part of Lori Werner's network, which we hope you are, from Medical Marketing Wiz, we encourage you to make sure that you meet with your team there and you go, okay, step one, let's qualify. Because remember, nobody ever pays to earn the Women's Choice Award. The only time that you will pay anything is if you choose to leverage it, this is probably one of the best investments you will ever make, because look at how you amplify whatever message you have. Mm-hmm. So think about taking any marketing messaging you have right now going on, and now think about adding the seal. And when you walk into your waiting room today, after you're done, step outside and walk in from the consumer standpoint, your patient standpoint, sit in those chairs and look around. Where's the validation? Where's the celebration? Where's the award? And you will realize how much more powerful your own patient experience will be when they have the validation to back the experience. So thank you very much. We look forward to working with you, supporting your success, and helping you really thrive within your community and in your marketing. Thank you. Awesome. Now I know Lori's going to open.
Oh yeah, that was so good. Oh my gosh, I took so many notes. Couple things I wanted to highlight, and I know there are a couple of questions if we have time. The thing that I think is really important about this is that exactly what you said, this is not a popularity contest award. You need to earn it. And I can tell you that, we are submitting a lot of our clients for it. Not everybody got it, so there are criteria. You need to, you guys look up their medical license and make sure that's valid. You look at their reviews, and they need to have, a certain number of reviews. They need to have, obviously a good number of good reviews. They look at any kind of like lawsuit history and things like that. So, I mean, I don't know that there's any other award out there that does that. A lot of it's like, vote for your peers, or, vote, have all your patients vote for you. And those awards are fine and they're great, but I love the validity that there really is to this, and that you do have to earn it. And it's been nice for us too, because some of our clients, it's like, hey, you're not quite to 50 reviews yet. Let's help you get there so that we can submit you for this. So I love that. I loved what you said about, and this, I almost feel like this needs to be a social media post. Not only do we get what's important to you, but we also deliver. this is a message that every doctor should leverage when they win this award. So I loved that. You stole my thunder, because as I was writing some notes, I was like, one of the things that we're doing is all of our doctors that win this, their next in-office event is going to be like a red carpet celebration of winning the Women's Choice Award. I definitely feel like that's something I would go to. Like, I love I love getting dressed up. Like, I would love to go and like, hey, we're celebrating our providers winning this award. Come celebrate with us. We're going to have event only pricing. We're going to have, you can talk to the doctor and learn about blah, blah, blah. So leveraging with the events, doing the press releases, those are all things that we're doing for our clients. So you hit everything that I was going to say. There are 2 questions that I saw come in. If you have a quick second.
I will, but I want to interrupt you for a second, because for those who are on, I do want to reinforce the importance that I have seen personally when doctors go it alone. They can do it. I mean, it's a little bit of work. You might have an office manager who could help you, but it cannot compare to the work you're doing, Lori, with your
thank you.
I mean, I will say that you make it so simple. And I think that's really important, because a lot of doctors come to us and go, I don't know where to begin. And your agency really makes it so turnkey and so powerful. And also you are able to measure your success.
Right.
That I think it's, it is hands down. It's such an extraordinary investment to go, we're going to allocate X amount of dollars a year. And I know you're so reasonable. It's like a no-brainer to me, X amount of dollars a year on our reputation management, because that's really what it is, and this is going to help us really take it to the next level. So congratulations on the extraordinary success you're having with your doctor.
It's fun too. I like, our mission is to, we're picky about who we work with too, right? Like we don't want to promote doctors that aren't great doctors. Like we want our client, we want the world to know about who we think are great doctors too. So this just, it aligns so well with that. And so thank you. Yes. It's been a fun team, fun working with you guys.
Great team.
So there are a couple of questions. Number one is, what if it's not a doctor? Like, what if it's a PA or an NP? Certain states, a PA or an NP can own their own practice or be the, head of their practice, or a midwife even. Like, we'll see offices that have those advanced practice clinicians, like nurse practitioners, PAs, and midwives. Can they submit for this award, or does it have to be a doctor?
No, as long as they're licensed, they can. And what I need is 24 hours, because what we're going to do is, because of this question, and I've been thinking about it, it's very timely. We know that women choose providers, not just physicians. They do choose, PAs. I know I go to a doctor now where I'm seen by a PA most of the time, and I have no problem with it. But I myself, knowing it's not a physician, but a PA, I'd like the validation. So if a doctor, has, in their office, their PA should also get the award, right? Because you're turning over so much of that, contact with the PA, which they should, or an NP. So I would say absolutely. So we're going to be refreshing our site in the next 24 hours or by Monday, so that you'll see the drop down. You'll be able to choose, which category you fit in.
Okay, cool.
To apply. Absolutely. If we have questions, we'll let you know. If we're not finding information, we'll find out with you.
And that kind of lends me to the next question that I see here, is about a group practice. So let's say, does each doctor, even like for the USA Today spotlight, like, does it have to be an individual doctor picture? What if 5 doctors in the office want to go for the award? How does that work?
Well, I encourage that, because I encourage practices to qualify. And that simply means that the doctors within the practice needs to qualify. So for example, each doctor wouldn't pay. You'll email us and we'll give you more information. But the first step would be if there's 5 doctors, all 5 qualify, and then the practice now could earn the award and promote it as a practice, not
Okay.
as a individual doctor. And then the practice gets promoted on the whatever the event, whatever we're doing, USA Today, they'll have their practice logo and a quote from the team, whatever. We'll work with you on how to present that part of it. But yes, I strongly encourage it, because I have to tell you, it speaks volumes. Now, every doctor will, of course, have their own profile, on the
Mhm.
Women's Choice Award.
So it would be like a practice profile in that case.
It could be, but doctors could also be looked up individually as well.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, that's good to know. I know we've got a few of our offices where multiple doctors in the group and mid-levels qualified. So yeah, no, this is great. I think this is really important. And I had another client, they're like, well, Lori, I won Best of Laguna Beach for 18 years in a row and I never got one patient for it. And I'm like, well, yeah, I looked at, it's nowhere on your website. It's nowhere on your social media. It's nowhere, because it's not enough to just win it. You definitely need to make sure, and a lot of doctors, they don't want to brag about themselves, but these are things that it is important. And you're right. We need to put ourselves in the position of, as a consumer, how do we do our homework? We do our homework. We're not going to just see one social media post from somebody and say, oh, okay, well, I'm just going to go to this doctor. No, I'm going to do my homework. I'm going to make even a recommendation, like a referral, like you said, it's like, okay, well, is this just the doctor's friend, or is this really the best doctor? I'm going to go do my own homework and find out who I think is and of course I'm going to take my doctor's opinion into consideration, but I am going to do my homework. And I know for me, this is definitely something that would validate that for me. And I just think that people need to leverage it in every single place that they can for as long as they can, because it is important. So thank you so much for explaining all of that. We're really excited to continue this partnership. We've got very similar missions, so just thankful to have met you and for you to take the time to do this for us today. So,
well, at the end of the day, we're helping people, we're helping women especially, make good healthcare choices.
Right.
And everyone wins when we raise the level of healthcare in this country. So thank you, and a big thank you and a call out to the doctors who participated today, because you're enlightened and you get the importance of staying at that, maintaining the highest standards for your patients. So thank you for what you do.
Awesome. All right. And we'll send out the replay too to everybody, so that if you had people that couldn't join, you'll get the replay here in just a little bit.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Delia. Have a good one.
You too.
Yeah. Bye-bye.